And we are live. Actually gone through the whole waiting for everybody to get here. I see there's a lot of people in here already. Welcome to the Elsewhere podcast. I mean, where else would you be right now, right? Um, we're actually hanging out with Vocodah. Did I say it right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
I always screw it up. I always like Vocodah.
Mhm.
But no, you guys, we're actually hanging out with Vocodah.
Yo, yo. What's
He's
poppin'? I see Ben T. I see DJ. What's up, Jared? What's up, y'all?
No, absolutely. I know a lot of people were really excited about this one because, to be completely sincere, we've never had anybody that has anything to do with beatboxing on the channel so far. Because we have done artists and authors and reactors, content creators, administrators, producers, all that. But we've never had anybody from the beatbox community at all. So you are the first.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Beatboxing is crazy. There's so much.
No, his name is Sid from Toy Story.
Big facts. Alter ego.
No, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy. You're busy as all get out right now. So, I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, I'm right now I'm about to be setting up doing judging a couple different battles. I'm judging in New Jersey in Atlantic City for American Beatbox Champs, and then going to the UK for NUE, which is this guy. His name's ABH. He's running a beatbox battle there as well. That's gonna be in October, and then November I'm hosting one. So it's getting crazy. Just
yeah,
doing a bunch.
I do know about the one in November. I didn't know. I knew American Beatbox when I knew that one, but and I
Hmm.
didn't know about obviously the one in the UK. But the one in November, I'm definitely tuned into because I plan on being there, flying out.
Let's go.
Yeah, because Truth is one of my best friends. Truth No Lie, and so
Hmm.
we plan on. I know he's gonna come up from Atlanta, and I'm coming from Texas. So
Ooh, let's go.
yeah,
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna
because
be a good one.
no, I 100% I believe it. I want to meet people. I want to meet Ben because I love him to pieces. And shout out to Ben T for, I mean, honestly, introducing me to you and
Yeah.
introducing a lot of people to the beatbox community and the beatbox like videos and stuff that he puts forward, just bringing attention to it, so that just something that some people just aren't aware of. And lately in the reactor community, it's blown up. Like that's a huge thing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out Ben T right now. He hosted a battle in Virginia in Winchester called Bush Beatbox Battle, and that battle was really really dope. It had a lot of crazy like battling moments, beatbox experiences. It was definitely a top event. It was up there. So
Yeah,
big
I
shout out to him.
definitely heard about that one. In fact, I was talking to Cliff Beats, and he was planning on going. He didn't get a chance to, but he wants to go to the next one, whichever one it may be. Um, I know he has the intention of going, so maybe he'll get to the one in November. That would be cool. I could meet all y'all at the
Yeah.
same time, because
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude. This event should be like super crazy. It's gonna be super fun.
and I know Ben keeps talking about the after party, so
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I can't even
the whole
imagine.
the whole event's gonna be great. It's gonna be sick.
And if anybody doesn't know, just to kind of give you a little bit of background, he's actually you have titles currently, and like when you're talking about going into battles like different places and stuff, when you're judging, you're judging because you're one of the best out there.
Um, I mean, right now,
Don't be humble, like be own it, like
I mean, right now, until American champ, I'm the current American Beatbox champion. They haven't had the American Beatbox champ since 2019. That was when I won. So, um, just been sitting on that, and then I won the online World Beatbox Champs in 2020, during COVID, and that was just through the Beatbox community Discord server. Shout out to Decoy. Um, and yeah, it was just like a lot of different battle events and a lot of different like beatboxing things, and yeah, now we're hosting. So
and see that's really cool because it's not. I mean, you live and breathe it, right? I mean, and I know
Yeah, it's
you
fun.
do because I see your practice rounds on YouTube. Where- like every day, if y'all don't know, if you haven't gone and subscribed to him, or if you need to check him out if you haven't already, but he does pop on lives like what 3 to 5 times a week, just depending, where he's just practicing and he's watching his Twitch and he's watching his YouTube, but he's just for like at least a half an hour, if not more, he's just practicing. And it's just you pop in
Yeah.
and it's just like, what in the hell?
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to watch, especially when if you can try to distract him. That's my favorite part. Just trying to see
Yeah.
if you can say something and make him stop for a second to respond.
Yeah. Just I just kind of pop in and just like kind of search for new ideas and just like chill with chat. And if people ask for like different ideas or different like rounds, I'll probably do them and stuff like that. And just go through a bunch of different material. And it like honestly when I'm like in battles and stuff, because it's just like those streams, I can kind of like pull out a lot of different material that I wouldn't normally have. It's been like a really crazy like like just add on to like chill with people as well as just like build my brand and just like train. It's really fun. So
Well, yeah, and I mean, it doesn't hurt that you're good at it. So,
thanks, yo.
well, I mean, if you, I'm going to be completely sincere. If you've got somebody that's just like me, who's sitting there and they're like, skip it, and that's it, that's all you're going to get. You're not. It's not going to be worthwhile to sit there for half an hour and listen to me fumble through things. It's actually really cool. You can actually pop into at any point, whether it's from the beginning to end, in the middle, somewhere 3/4 of the way, and it doesn't matter because you're going full in like the whole time. It's crazy. Jess just put the link to his YouTube in the chat, and it's also in the description if you guys do want to check him out or do you want to go subscribe. There's a lot of stuff coming up, so I don't know. I think it's a good idea. But
Hey.
so the other thing is that, like I was saying, like you're judging, and
Mhm.
one of my favorite things because I saw when you were judging the was it the wild card? You were
Yeah,
judging the
the wild
wild
card.
card, and you were giving you were giving it right back at them. Like they would do something, you were like, "Well, this," and you would do it yourself.
It's a language. It's a language you can really just like um it's just one of those things. It's like you can kind of communicate in it. It's a weird.
Well,
It's really weird. It doesn't make sense. I don't know how to explain
we
it.
talked about this. Remember on the phone,
Yeah.
we talked about that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I said there needs to be a language because only people that can wrap their mouth around those sounds, like, and you'll just hear people making sounds and you're like, what the hell, like, do they have Tourette's? And you're like, no, they actually said, hey, nice to meet you, you're kind of, you look kind of good today. Like, you don't know, you could have a whole language that no one else
Yeah.
knows. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be that
It's
hard.
crazy. Yeah. V-Box just like it like doesn't make sense half the time, and it just like has expanded and expanded. It's like all the different vocal techniques are now just like one thing. It's like whistles, like vocal singing, like bass techniques, like metal techniques. There's like it's like everything all in just like one craft. It's honestly really crazy. It just accumulates everything.
Well, shout out to my mom. She's in chat right now. She says, what made you even try doing that?
um so basically when I was a kid, like I was in well when I was in like middle school, I guess. There was this guy who he like beatboxed and he rapped like on the bus, and I heard him and I was like, "Whoa, that's like really sick." And then there was another guy who showed me Reeps 1, and Reeps 1 was like a beatboxer that did like dubstep beatboxing, and I was really into dubstep at the time. And that's kind of like what kind of got me into it. As well as like I had a lot of beatbox friends that I was like hanging with while playing video games on Xbox.
Yeah.
And then there was like a whole scene that like opened up on Xbox of just like a bunch of different like beatbox. There was like beatboxers, there were like singers, there were like like guitar players, there were like pen tappers. There were like there were a lot of different like talents, I guess, on like through the Xbox community. But that built and like over time we switched to like Ventrilo and then TeamSpeak and then Discord, and the online scene just like literally just blew up and blew up and blew up, and as well as like live battles and stuff like that. So now there's just like huge different like types of scenes for V-Box, and like just like different places to like meet people in and stuff, and like V-Boxers are like all around the world now. So it's just wild.
That's great. I remember Ventrilo. I remember
Yeah,
that. I used to play
yeah,
WoW,
Ventrilo's
and I was
crazy.
on Ventrilo, so shout out Ventrilo. But no, and actually, in all honesty, you have a Discord. It's Beatbox Arena. That's your
Mhm.
brand, right? That's literally
Mhm.
your brand, and that's who's hosting the competition in November in Virginia.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
My
Yeah.
mom has all the questions. It just my mom says, how long have you been really good at it? Oh, that's a good question. Because no,
I
not
mean,
everybody's good all the time.
I guess. I mean, it took like maybe a couple years for me to like really figure out like what I wanted to do with it, because it was less about if I got good at it. It was more about like, am I doing what I want with it? You know what I mean? So like I felt like I was like, because beatboxing was kind of like expanding as I was practicing type thing. Like everybody was kind of learning at like the same pace. So like over time, like we're all just kind of like at the same like at like similar levels, because we're just like all leveling up at the same time. But um really I kind of found exactly what I wanted to do at around like 2018. I like started like like changing exactly what I wanted to do with like my style and like the type of like beatboxing that I wanted to like show. I listen to a lot of EDM and just like dubstep and different like trap music and different like just like that's just the kind of inspirations I go for. So that's what I encompass in my beatboxing, and I kind of stuck to that sound, and it's just built a whole like new way for me to like approach it. But so it's like it's fun. It's just really fun. Beatboxing just like is really deep.
Shout out to Ben T. Tip $10. I got you, boo boo.
Let's go.
No, that's my mom says she's always full of questions. Um, she says there's beginners and then there's good, which there is. And by the way, he
Yeah.
also does. You teach.
Hmm.
You teach people how to beatbox, and do you teach like beginners? Do you teach people that just need like help rounding out their skills, or like is it all
Yeah.
levels?
So yeah, it's like pretty much all levels. So like I have different ways I teach, like let's say students that have never beatboxed before versus students that are like just trying to tune up their rounds for like battles. And like I have like a lot of different ways I approach like each lesson. For beginners, I usually focus on like showing essentials of like how I build material and how I like kind of streamline the process. And then with like higher skilled students, I'll work basically help them with working on their rounds, because they know how to build rounds, but it's just like tuning them up and making sure like all your details are like making sense or like being conveyed correctly. So
Okay.
yeah.
No, that's pretty cool because I mean to be able it's hard enough to be good at what you're doing, but the skill to be able to translate that into teaching someone in a way that they can comprehend and benefit from it and move forward and progress, that in and of itself is a skill set that not everyone has.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. It like and it took like because I started teaching in 2015. I started in 2013, and then I started teaching in like 2015. So like 2 years after I started, I felt like I had enough knowledge to be able to like teach it to somebody. And then over the course of like from then until now, I've like basically it went from like teaching people kind of like how I approach things to teaching it so much to where I figured out how what how the best way to explain it to apply it to all styles type thing. And
Gotcha.
it's like here's an essential technique or exercise that can help you achieve this or this or this. And over time, it's just gotten like more compressed into like one sentence each. And now I've like built a course on it, and I've just been teaching a lot of mostly beatboxers with like battles and stuff like that, because that's really what's going on in beatboxing. That's what people are like trying to get lessons for, is to get farther in their like beatbox career and battles, because that's just the type of events that are going on. So
DJ Executioner says, "How did you feel about competing in Beatbox to the World Live?"
beatbox to world live,
Yes.
beatbox to world live was pretty cool. That was an awesome event. His really really does like really hosts, he hosts great events. So that was an online one, so that was sick.
And sorry, my mom's got jokes today. Um, One of the other things was very recently, um, watched the compilation for your win in 2020,
Hmm.
and and it was funny because one of the other videos, of course, Ben put forward, right, was a King Inertia. And it was funny because I was watching it for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. And I looked closer and I'm like, I know two. I knew, it's funny because I knew all three of them, but I only by sight knew two people that were sitting there that kept panning back to on his
Hmm.
compilation. And it was you and it was Napalm.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, I know people sitting in the row.
Yeah.
It was fun because you could see, that's one of my favorite things is when they do any of them like on video, when it's like a live, you can see the crowd getting into it. You can see people, especially the judges or other beatboxers, other champions or legends or whatever you want to call them, right? When they get into it too, and you're like, oh, see, that makes it, just it hypes you up more. At least it me watching it, it does. Just
Yeah. It like adds a visual. That's like kind of the thing that we're trying to do at the event in November, is to like kind of get some of the crowd, or like some at least some of the battlers like in the frame while they're battling, so that it's like kind of just more of like a like a group like type vibe of like every everybody's there and it's live and it's getting crazy. Like the battles are gonna be really awesome. So
now it sounds like it's going to be a good
yeah.
time. Like I said, my intention, I'm crossing all my fingers and toes, is that I'm going to be there too. I want to be there too. So it's penciled in. I'll put it in pen once I get tickets, right? So,
Let's
um,
go.
no, but that'll be really great, and it's fun because that's your that's your brand hosting it. So all the other
Hmm.
ones are like the other brands or things that you either judging or you're participating in, but this one you're actually hosting, which is on a whole new level.
Hmm.
And so is it hard to when you reach out to people and be like, hey, Joe, do you want to come? Like, hey, or is it just you guys know each other well enough that you can just hit them up, and if they can, they can. If they won't, they won't.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I mean, it's like a lot of my friend groups are pretty excited. I'm like hosting. It's like I'm hosting my first event. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna come hit it up. Just give me give me dates when you have it and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, and just send it around. And I mean, it'll be something that will kind of build on itself. And we're just gonna keep pushing more events and more events, because that's the goal is to just have a lot of opportunity for different beatboxers to come out and just like kill the stage, because we kind of lack events in America. And if we can get a lot more beatboxers going, it's gonna make just beatboxing get crazier and crazier, because there's so many beatboxers around the world that are just chilling. So if there are events by them, they would go.
Well, when I did some research, when I start kind of going down the rabbit hole a little bit and just seeing different stuff and different people that I'd never heard of or I'd never seen before, there are a lot of people out there, And if
Yeah.
you go down that rabbit hole, you just get sucked. Some are good, some are bad, some are, not like I'm a good judge of that, considering that, I'm a lot newer to all of that than pretty much anybody else. But like, I don't even know the names of 90% of anything anyone does. In fact, I just name them something that makes sense to me, like the clippity clops and the zoo zoos and that kind of stuff. That's like how I name things.
That's sick. That's the best way.
I mean, it's like my own, like when you're doing your practice rounds on YouTube. I'm just like, man, all those like those clicks and clops and stuff. Like, I don't know what the hell it's called. I don't know what it is. I'm like, but that sounded really. It sounded like an echo. Like, how did it echo? That didn't make sense. Like, it's in my head. That's what I'm thinking. But
Yeah.
it is kind of fun though, because if I say that, like, I'll tell Ben, it was like, those like clicks, those clops. He's like, yeah, I know what you mean, and I'm like, but how? I don't even know what I mean.
Yeah, there's so many ideas in my streams that like I don't even like. Sometimes I don't even remember like half of them. I just pull out one. If I find one that I really like, I'll just like remember it. But in general, it's just me just like going through like a bunch of different things. Like
Well,
so many that I just don't even remember, to be honest.
out of curiosity, like, if you're going to be going into a battle, if you're going to be, in the competition, do you prepare ahead of time what you're going to do, or is it in the moment?
It really, so it depends. Like I'll prepare like kind of how it works is I kind of do a mixture of both. So if I prepare like first I'll prepare like the normal round. I'll prepare all the rounds. But if I have to like respond to anything, like let's say like they do like a technique that I know I can do like really well, I'll like I'll add it as I'll like transition to that as a response at the end of my round, so that it's like it shows that I can do the technique that they're doing or just like level up what they were doing, and because just for like battle points and um hitting counters, it helps a lot. But in it's like preparing in both ways, preparing for just like if you have to do a normal round and preparing for just like who you're battling and stuff. So
Well, on that compilation I did hear, you did clap back at somebody. I can't remember which one it was. And I was like, eh. those
yeah.
I mean, those are my favorites. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not like big on the. I love how friendly the community seems to be, and
Hmm.
especially whether I'm not talking about the people watching as much as the people that are in the battles, the people that you like, all of the beatboxers, all the ones that are at a level where they're actually on the videos and they're in the competitions, they're around each other, and they all seem to just be like cool with each other. Like, it's just, and like they
Yeah.
love it so much that they want to have fun with it, and they're all friendly.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
There's
no
like
like hate.
so many cultures can just like kind of come together in like one spot and just like hang out because it's just like this craft kind of just like brings that energy together. It's really crazy.
Well, that's the thing. That's why you need a language, because then people from all over the world, they don't have to speak one language. They could speak beatbox, right? And you could
Yeah.
just have a conversation, you know.
For
And
real though, for real. There's a lot of times I'm in like when I'm in World Champs, there's a lot of people that like don't know English, but that we can sit and like just like jam together, not have to speak anything and just like beatbox and like it's just like it's a communication tool. It's really crazy. It's like you can really communicate with anyone in the scene regardless of like where they come from or if they like know your language or not. Like you can speak to anyone.
it's like, I don't know what you just said, but I know what zoot means. So, you know, we
For
got
real,
this.
for real, for real. It's crazy.
Now, I think we really need to work on that. I really think that that's like a goal, maybe a 2023 goal, but, it's still a goal, to create our own language, through beatbox, I would say sounds, you're right. Just
Yeah, yeah.
assign like thought processes to each one. And so,
Yeah, people have tried to make beatbox phonetics, but not nobody's really solidified like the whole thing yet. You know, it hasn't been fully solidified all down to a T. So
well, now I have my project for next year. Got it. I think between you and Ben and a couple other people, I think we could probably pull it off. Even if it was just for fun, right? I mean, it would be fun.
Yeah, it would
Um,
be crazy. It'd be crazy to know because there's a lot. It's like their craft is really crazy.
so, is there something that you like? I don't know how to put this, because you pretty much know how to do pretty much everything that there is to do. The difference is creating something new. More? Am
Mm-hmm.
I wrong?
Yeah, creating something new in beatbox is like kind of it's just like building on what's out and like using other ideas and techniques and like inputting it to like other sounds and like just like trying to come up with what what could this sound do with this sound and things like that. There's a lot of different ways to kind of look at it, but you can create a lot of new ideas that aren't existing um really quickly by just like trying out things and like messing up. Really messing up is like the best way.
I was gonna say I think that an oopsie would probably be the best way to come up with. Well, that kind of sounded cool. Like,
Yeah, for real though. For real though. Messing up is the best way to like figure out something new.
Jess, one of my mods, Jess, she says curious as to what he thinks of Adam Rupp of Home Free.
Adam Roop of Home Free.
He might not know who
Um,
that is.
yeah, I don't know if I do.
They're an a cappella group, and so he, I believe, does the majority of all of the background, like the sounds.
Oh, I'll check them out.
Yeah.
I'll check them out.
So that's definitely. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of a cappella groups out there. Home free
Yeah,
play
there's a lot.
pentatonics and all those other ones. But they have that usually that person. Oh,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
be
yeah,
shocked,
yeah.
Jess. You knew he probably wouldn't know. I mean,
I mean,
it's a
I
little
know
different.
I know a good amount of vocal percussionists, but I don't know all of them. Like I'm more in like the battling world, of just like the kind of just like the yeah. I know Kevin from Pentatonics. Like he's really good. But Adam for Home Free. I haven't checked out, so I'll check them out. That's on the list.
He sounds like he swallowed a drum kit.
That's awesome.
Um, DJ Executioner, who was your most difficult opponent that you had to battle?
Hmm. I mean, Collapse is pretty good. I mean, he's the one who won the last event, so he's really good. Um, yeah, probably Collapse.
Well, who was
Yes.
it that you either had to battle or you got to participate in the same like place as like that you were like, oh my god, I get to meet them.
Um, well, it's kind of one of those where it's like there's so many beatboxers that like it's kind of like there's a lot of people that I'm like jammed with like online that I haven't gotten to meet in real life. So it's really just that more than like like famous people. I don't know.
Oh, you haven't fangirled
Um,
out yet?
I mean, not yeah, not really. I guess Reeves because like he's the one that like got me into beatboxing, but
Right.
like other than him, it's like kind of just everybody. Like, oh, I haven't met you in real life yet. Um, like now I can like because we're going to an event, etc. So
No, that's pretty cool. I was just curious
yeah.
if there was like somebody that you met that you're like, you know what, this is it. Like I've met this person and they were, you said like an inspiration, right? So
Hmm.
just I don't know.
Um,
I've got
I have my like most of my inspirations are really from like EDM producing. Like when I met Yeti, he was like a really he's an EDM producer that like I I just get like super inspired by and like his ideas and stuff and like how he makes music. And he was super I went to like his one of his shows when I was in Denver. And he was super nice, super chill and like it felt like it was like it was just like such a good time and it really got me into like going into music more because I just had a good time like watching his crazy show got super inspired and then he was super nice and super chill and it was just it was a dope time. I got to beatbox for him. He thought it was cool. I was like, what? It's crazy. Um,
No, that's
and
awesome.
so that's kind of more of like my fanboy on side is like on probably more on the production side than the beatboxing side, because like all the beatboxing sides are like it's like all of my homies type things. Like I talk to them all the time. So
Ben, you can ask him, or he can see what you're saying, bro. DJ says he's taller than you.
no, you're not, DJ. You're like 3 foot. Come on.
Ben says, "How does it feel to be the top 70% of all of tall beatboxers?"
Top 70% of tall beatboxers. Is that where I'm at?
I
I
don't
think
know.
yeah, DJ, you're 3 foot. That's all I know. All
Well,
right.
see, the stuff I've listened to lately, when it comes,
Mhm.
see, I really, when I was younger, especially when I was like in the 90s, especially because I'm a lot older than you, um, I loved like Alice DJ, Scooter, all of those type bands,
Mm,
and then later on like Afrojack. And then, like, for
yeah.
example, one of my more recent ones that I discovered about 6 months ago was Excision and Millennium.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I watch their shows like on YouTube, and I absolutely love it. It's just so much fun. And that's why I go a little bit more nuts when people kind of go that direction with their, when they're battling and stuff, when they kind of go that route
Mhm.
versus when it's more of a, or when my headphones like vibrate off my head. I like that too. But more than like a rap beat,
Mm,
it's more like the EDM stuff I like
yeah.
personally.
Yeah. Did you said Excision, right?
Uh huh.
Did you see my collab with him in his detox set?
No. Oh, come on. I missed that. Because now I'm like pissed off I missed it. Hold on. I'm Googling it. Don't think I'm not.
Okay, look up Excision detox set 2019,
I found it.
and then it's like 50 minutes in.
That's crazy. Yeah, their Lost Lands are insane. Um,
Yeah. There's a collab that him and
okay,
I
I'll
did.
have to check that out a little bit later. Actually, oh no, it was the wrong one. Actually watched the Lost Lands 2019, the 2 hour live set, but I only got like 35 minutes in because, and then I forgot to go back apparently because I haven't finished it. But that's actually really cool.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, that's like the that's Excision's the one who got me really into just like making dubstep and liking dubstep. Like old Excision tracks were like super classic for me growing up. So
Yeah, I think pretty much all the ones I listened to when I was younger are retired um, at this point. But I don't know, there's something about it where you can just kind of tune out and listen to it. And I know a lot of people don't like it. It's funny because, like, one of my friends, Nick the actor, he'll be on his, and he'll do like hype music before he goes live or like during a break. And everybody's like,
mhm,
oh my God. And I'm like, yes, let's go. Because he likes
mhm.
trap beats, like real hype, like
Yeah.
trap versions, remixes, and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm stomping. Yeah, I tell him all the time, I'm like, I'm stomping around wherever I'm at. And people are like, oh my God, not again. I'm like, I don't care. Shut up. I want to hear it. It's just something like if you like it, you like it. Not everybody does, to be honest. But of course, a lot of people like the blues or jazz, and I'm not a fan, for example. Um, it takes
Mhm.
all kinds. I just think it's really cool how that kind of influences how you build some of the sounds that you make, some of the songs that you do. Um,
Definitely. It's like all your inspirations, especially in beatbox, like kind of all just come together to make like the beatbox style that you're going for. You use sounds the way that you like music, which is really crazy.
Antonio, he's talking to my mom. He says, Patricia, that's my mom. Patricia, have you seen or heard of Vocodah in action? He's not from this planet, and I want to know which one. By
Good
the way, and
question.
Antonio is one of the most. He shout out to Antonio. He's from Russia, and he like has to translate everything. I guarantee you, he's not following this conversation because we're talking too quickly. Um, and he has to like translate the chat to see what it says, and he translate his answers so it comes off obviously not perfect grammar, but he's the most kindest, most positive and supportive person. He always has nice things to say to people and tons of emojis. So shout out to him. And that's, I just want to give him his
Hey, let's
kudos
go.
because
Let's go.
he's right in
That's a
that area
homie.
that's having some bad times right now. So, um,
That's a homie. Let's go.
DJ says, Anthony, what was your favorite battle to judge at Sounds Unreal? And then
Mm,
God, guys, give me a second. Like, don't they're one after another.
um, I mean, let's see. Um, I mean, I did like Rome versus Inertia versus Syntax. It was good. What's your favorite battle from Winchester? Inertia versus Den, or Inertia versus Decoy actually. That's one.
Hmm.
Yeah. Those battles are crazy. The Winchester battles were just insane.
Were those the ones from the summer?
Yeah, they were the ones that Ben T hosted.
Right, that's what I was wondering
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
I was like, Ben, I'm just, whenever you're ready, I'd like to. He keeps talking about it, but I haven't seen any evidence that there was actually a battle there. Just saying.
Those battles are insane. They were so crazy.
I'm just trying to get a sneak peek. I don't know. I'm like really excited about it. So I know that there's production to be done and things that need to happen, and I get all that. I'm cool with that. I just, I can be impatient a little bit. Love you back, Ben. But
Mhm.
no, I'm gonna be super stoked to be able to be out there, and I'm gonna say it like 17 more times, just convince my mom that I'm definitely going, and maybe she'll babysit for me. Um, but in November for those 2 days, and with Truth, and whoever else is gonna be there, and meet Ben and all that stuff. But the other ones that you're talking about, like the one that you're going to the UK and all that, are those, do they stream live, or are they like, do they just post later, or is there anywhere that you put where you're
Should
at?
be both. Yeah, should be both actually. They should stream live and then post the post production. Um, American Champs will for sure. NUE will be on the New Urban Era Beatbox channel. And then the battle we're hosting will be on Beatbox Arena.
See, that's awesome. Oh, there's Truth right there. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. There he is. Um, no, because that's gonna be awesome. It blows my mind because like I tell people all the time, this is a spiel I go into. I'm not creative. Like I'm not vocally, lyrically, instrumentally creative, right? I'm also can't design a room for nothing. Like, and I can't like draw. So, like all of the creative arts like skipped me, which I'm okay with. But but on
They're
the flip,
fun. They're fun.
but that's the thing is that I love hearing about people that do creative things because it's like a mystery to me how the brain works and what it inspires and what encourages and what the focus is because it's not the same when you're a creative mindset. You approach things in a different way than someone who's, let's say, full on logic mindset, right? Not saying you're not logical,
Yeah.
but the way you think about things, it's like when you play Guitar Hero too long, and then you start to hear every song you hear, you start seeing the notes flying by like you're playing Guitar Hero in your head,
Yeah.
like in your
Yeah.
head, right? And I assume, because I wouldn't know, but I assume that when you do stuff, right, when you do something like beatbox, when you hear things in your head, you can break it down into well that sound and make it in your head like okay that's how that goes like you could make it
Yeah.
yourself.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Beatboxing's really crazy, and the more you learn in beatboxing, the more that like that skill gets like refined, and it's like endless, really. It's really wild.
No, and there's it can't be easy to keep that up. You're somebody who another fun fact, you do like the longest showcases I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's like somebody could go like get a beer, go to the bathroom, run to the car, come back, and you're still going.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. I think like the Sounds and Real showcase was like 30 minutes, and then this last Bush showcase that I did was 48 minutes.
Straight.
So funny.
For anybody that doesn't get that, straight. 48 minutes straight. Beatboxing 48 minutes in a row. Like, hey, what's up, Jen? Appreciate you stopping by. And yeah, I can. I don't know if there's anything I actually do for like 48 minutes. In fact, we'll be on here for 48 minutes in 3 minutes right now. So, I mean, there's another thing. So, I guess I hit that goal. Yeah. I just I can't imagine, especially because you can't just do the same thing and then repeat it for 48 minutes. You're doing different stuff. You're trying different
Hmm.
techniques. You've got different sounds. You've got different beats, not beats. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah,
changing it up.
a lot of different, just like, just using different, thinking about just like different styles. The best way to really think about it is like every day, like you wake up with kind of like a different mindset and different like thought patterns, and like if you like record or capture those thought patterns, you can like build a library of them and then use different thought patterns into a set. Because a thing about like the problem with like a lot of different freestylers is they freestyle with like a free mind, and if they're really using a free mind, then it's going to be on one one pattern or one idea. It's going to be stuck on kind of like one idea, one
Right.
theme, where you can just have like a bunch of different mindsets together and then put them into like one showcase, and you can freestyle through like how I kind of do is I'll freestyle, and then when I feel like something goes into a round, I'll do a round, and then it's just like one. That's where it turns into a song, and then go back to freestyling and just kind of switch between, practice both.
Anthony? What was your hardest routine to make?
Um, layers,
Oh,
layers is was yeah, it was weird. Layers was a hard one because it has like the goal of it was to show the different types of like ways you can layer sounds in beatboxing and make beats.
that's crazy. Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
so
because
there's like
I've heard it, but I didn't know that was the intention of it. Like, I didn't know that was the point. Because
yeah.
without that knowledge, I was just like, oh, well, okay, that's the song. I just heard it. But knowing
Yeah.
that, it kind of makes me think back. Now I got to go listen to it again just to kind of catch with that context in mind and just kind of check. I don't know. That's how I would have to
Yeah.
learn because I don't know. Like I said, clippity clops and like zoots, and that's all I know. That's it. The whippity zips and the.
Yeah, it gets like the craft gets really fun because there's just like so many different sounds, so many different ways to make sounds, and like it all just comes together with this in this like international community. So now everybody's just like trying to like learn a bunch of different sounds and put them together into like and build combos and build like just like completely different way. It's just like such a completely different way to make music, and it's super like self and like it's really like when I started like I did it. It was like therapy. It was super therapeutic to just like train ideas and like find stuff and like find new patterns. Like it was always super fun to just like what's the next pattern that I can find, and I just kept going, and kept going, and then now there's battles, now there's big events and stuff. So it's just it's just getting wild.
Have you ever caught yourself like beatboxing in inappropriate places or at
um,
inappropriate times? I'm just asking.
mm,
Like you're in
not.
church and everyone's singing and you're like, and everyone's like, what
Oh,
the
I mean, I've definitely thought about like it's like you have the thought like oh I want to beatbox, but you like suppress it.
fuck? Or like you're eating
Like,
or something and you're just like, wow, that tastes good. It's good. I'm like, what?
yeah, big facts. All the time, all the time.
These people are
Yeah,
like, I think he's got Tourette's or something wrong with that boy. Um, well,
beatboxing
because
is so funny.
like I said, whenever you listen to, I'm one of those people that walks around the house and like will randomly sing random lines from random songs because it's in my head. It's
Hmm.
stuck in my head, and my kids are just looking at me like, unless I sing, oh, we're halfway there, and they all, oh, living on a prayer, and they'll answer me. Other than that, though, they look like me like I'm crazy. Um, I was just wondering if it ever came out like, diarrhea, like it's just, you're standing
No,
at the DMV and you're just,
like, like it's like basically when you have like the biggest time is when you have a new idea that you really want to like keep training. It's like you have this idea that you're like working on. It's just like that thought pattern will just keep going in your head of that beat. Pattern will just keep going in your head of that beat, and like it's like you're just suppressing yourself, not trying to beatbox, but like you want to do the beat because it's stuck in your head. Like things just get stuck in your head so easily. It's crazy. Like you can just make like an idea will just sit there and loop type thing. I don't know. But yeah, it happens. It definitely happens where like it's like things like you said, like the DMV is perfect. Definitely should be beatboxing there.
oh, Ben's calling you out. He says you do it everywhere.
I mean that's facts, but like I mean, what are we calling it inappropriate places now?
Well, well, it could be an inappropriate timing, like, where everyone's like, let's have a moment of silence. You're like,
Oh,
like,
definitely,
wow.
definitely. You know, that sounds perfect.
I mean, you should wear a T-shirt that says, "Leave me alone, I beatbox." Like, or no, I'm not.
Yeah,
No, I don't have Tourette's. I'm actually a beatboxer, and then have your
I'm a
website.
beatboxer. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm a beatboxer.
Yes.
That's a good shirt. That's a good shirt.
Benty, I woke up doing chest bass Friday night. I think
Oh, let's go. Venti with the chest bass.
and it's funny because if you don't know what that means, like, yeah. Okay, now that you just turn on a video game.
Pretty much. Sega sound.
I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of inappropriate places to beatbox. Like at a funeral.
Doing the Sega what? Doing the Sega sound at the DMV.
Every time someone goes up to the front and they call a new number.
Yo, that'd be perfect.
Like you just leveled up, bro. Good job. When someone gets mad, wah, wah, like, oh.
Ben, I can't answer that question. I'm sorry.
Ben.
Yo, that one's different.
I'm sorry. I can't think of any other inappropriate places.
That one's
I'm
too
sure
good. That one's too good.
Oh, good God, I'm sorry.
But yeah, V-Box is just so crazy. There's so many people in it now, and it's like it's gotten so much bigger. It's like it pretty much went mainstream in it went mainstream in like the Philippines and Indonesian stuff. It's like super mainstream there. A lot of beatboxers just like coming out of nowhere and just like coming into the scene so much.
Well, I do know that there's a huge. I know there's a huge like rap scene in like Indonesia and the Philippines and places like that. I didn't know about beatboxing. However, I do remember when I was a kid, there was a club up the street that was for teens, and there was a smoking area inside. Don't ask. Okay, why would there? Doesn't matter. What sense and logic that made, I don't know. But there would always be guys sitting there, and there'd be somebody who was like attempting to rap. We'll just say that. But there was the cool guy was the one sitting there, and he was doing the beat.
Oh, word?
Those were the cool guys because the dude trying to rap is like, yeah, it's Friday, yo. I think it might
Oh,
snow.
he had
And
the
it was
bars.
like,
He had the
no.
wordplay.
And the other
Oh, he
guy
was
is
hitting
just
the
like,
wordplay.
I can't even do anything. And it was actually like, oh, that's cool until the guy started speaking, and then you're like, oh God, you have to go to the other.
So the beat was sick, and then this guy was spitting bars, and you were messing with his bars.
No, I was not.
Oh, word. Okay.
I was like, well,
Feel
you know,
Dang.
they were like 15. What are they gonna say, really?
Yo, you weren't trusting his wordplay?
No. No, and I didn't
You were
like it.
having it.
I didn't like it then, and then now that I actually am more involved and I actually know more about it because I know all these artists and I listen more and I know the different pieces and parts and what goes into it. I know I was right, so that works too.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
He's probably like a Joe Dirt wannabe now that like posts videos. At this, he's like 45 or something.
Yo.
I mean, not knocking on people, Joe Dirt looking people posting videos, or anything, but no, I think it's really cool what you're doing, and you are correct that it's from what I can see as a listener viewer standpoint, that beatbox is definitely becoming more common and more popular. People are knowing the people's names, they're knowing
Hmm.
what's going on, what it means. Before you could get somebody was like, oh well, they're like a cappella making sounds with their mouth, okay, but now it's actually that people are recognizing the talent. It's not easy. It's not something you
Yeah.
can just, I mean, I've been trying and obviously I'm not doing well at it, but it's not something you can just do. You actually have to know what you're doing and practice, and it takes a lot of talent, especially to get the level like that you are at. And I think a lot of people have started checking out some of this non-mainstream stuff and are really respecting the talent, just like you have Lorna Shore and you've got God, what's his name, Will, who does the scream and the growl, and it sounds like my precious. You can't.
Oh yeah.
But the talent for that is insane, and you have to respect that. Same with the beatboxing,
Yeah.
right? You don't have to think
Definitely.
that's your main thing to listen to. Like, you don't put beatboxing, I mean, I don't, on the radio, or not on the radio, on the stereo and listen to it all day. I don't. However, anytime I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's cool. You can, it hits you, especially when your earphones start vibrating off your head.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beatboxing. It just like it needed time. That's the thing is it in 2012 it was literally just who can be faster, who can go faster, who has the most technical beats, and then over time it started getting more musical and more musical and more musical, and now we're at a point to where everybody's really just like kind of sitting and creating the type of music that they want to make instead of it being like a battle culture. And that's what's really like elevated the scene is now everybody's just kind of doing what they think sounds good and what they want with their style, and it's revolutionizing how everybody like views beatbox now, like every year.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, there's DJ again. Anthony, who is your favorite wild card for American Champs in loop category, founder, 2v2, and solo? Geez, could you get any more
Oh my
specific
gosh.
with your question? Let me write this down. Hold on. I'm kidding.
My favorite wildcard for loop was I think Mace, founder. It's hard to remember. It's a lot of wild cards. I don't like to be honest. Like I can't do the founder 2v2 and solo because I judged those wild cards and I went through like 150. So just check my list, I guess. I think.
Yeah, because I mean,
But
you rated each one and you went through. You were live doing it.
yeah, yeah.
Like I said,
Um,
my favorite is when you went back at them. That was great.
I think founder was like Napalm was my top. I think solo. I don't remember who solo was. Yeah, but yeah, that event's gonna be so fun.
No, I believe it. That's
Early
why I want to be
September.
there. Like, I don't want to miss it. Plus, it's the premiere. It's the first, right?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
flagship. It's the everything. It's the knock the champagne bottle on the corner of the boat type thing.
yeah,
So
for real.
that's the
First
one you
one.
don't want to miss. I mean, I'm not saying I want to miss all the other ones. I'm saying that one though would be super cool to be at. Antonio's
Yeah.
asking you, I wonder how old you are and where you're from. If it's not a secret, I just want to know without any bad intentions, I swear. He's so sweet. I
No,
love
you're
him.
good. I'm 23 and I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I live in Richmond, Virginia. So
There you go.
yeah,
East Coast. East Coast.
yeah. East Coast, EST.
Well, that makes sense why you guys keep doing stuff in Virginia.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
at first I was
Yeah.
like, you just like travel there, but you travel all over the world. Did you
I
ever
mean,
think when you first started that at like in however many 5-10 years that you were going to be traveling all over the world?
I mean, to be honest, I thought I was gonna be traveling to like some European country because it was like a European, more of like a European scene. So I was like, okay, like you know, but like I didn't think I'd be judging or anything at all. I thought I'd just be like either going to it for like fun to like watch because I was just into it, or just um just going to like going to like try to battle. But now I'm getting flown out to judge, and it's crazy. Like I never expected it.
I could see that. I mean, it's I couldn't have told you 2 years ago that I'd be doing what I'm doing right at this exact moment. That this would have been part of my life. That I had no idea. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
amazing how when you put your mind to something and you try something different. Now you've been doing it for a long time, but anyone could do it. I know Ben is starting to learn. You don't
yeah.
have to be. You don't have to have done it. It's. And I hate to say this. I'm not saying people can't learn instruments when they're older. It's a lot harder. But like people play piano since they're 4, right? There's a big difference.
Yeah.
You can jump in at any time.
You can jump into beatbox anytime. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I mean,
And learn what and learn however you learn however style you want, whatever you want to do. There's so much. There's so many different types of styles, and like so many different ways to like just like kind of like build a craft that's just fun.
he says now you're hosting. You leveled up, brother. Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy.
but that's
Ben
that.
T with Arena.
I mean, in all honesty, I just think it's really cool, and especially, and I'm make me sound old, but at your age, to have as much success as you do is really cool, especially since you've been teaching people for quite a while now.
Yeah, it's been fun. There's just been a lot of people that have been trying to learn what they kind of where they should go with beatbox and stuff like that. So it's I honestly just give a big shout out to everybody just like kind of investing in themselves and there being a market for it because people people didn't when I started not many people were like really looking for lessons and stuff like that, but a lot of people are now like taking their beatboxing like real seriously and going in and testing out like different instructors, and like now there's a whole education side of beatbox that wasn't really there before, so it's great.
Well, yeah, I think doesn't there's different groups of people that actually teach and stuff, because it can be easy to do it on your own without any kind of instruction, especially if you're like late to the game, like it wasn't just something that you want to try it. I mean, I gotta figure that it's probably not just you have to know some of the techniques to kind of get off the
Mhm.
ground a little bit,
Mhm.
so that
Yeah,
makes
like
sense.
yeah, and it also you can get tuned into really like what to focus on because the thing is it's such an open palette that you can get lost in like really quick thought processes. Like if something doesn't really connect and you don't have like guidance to like figure out how to connect it well, like it can like really mess up kind of how like the efficiency of your practice really. If but with like no direction, it just like it's hard to like kind of find done ideas because with my students like I basically teach them in a way to where they can freestyle and it's done, it's already done, like it's like already past the editing stage. You can freestyle in like finished material, and that's kind of the thing that makes beatboxing really interesting is what's finished. Like it's then everyone can just find their styles and stuff, and it's fire.
Well, so you have an app too.
Hmm?
You have an app.
No. You said an app?
Mm-mm. No, I'm talking about with like the education and stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, yeah. No, it's like there's so many people that are in that are just in it and really trying to learn. So
no, I think it's
it's
great.
awesome.
I mean, anybody that wants to, they should really go for it. 100% hands down. try something new. I mean, why not? I mean, really, why not? I'm just waiting for my mom to just suddenly she'll be like, "Hey," and she'll call me and then she'll start beatboxing on the phone. That would be great.
That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome, and like I would enter her in competitions. I'd be like, "Let's go." Um, but no, I mean it's a really cool thing. It's amazing just how much is taking off in general beatbox, and the events are, from what I've heard, I've never been to one, but from what I've heard, are just so much fun, and people have a great time hanging out and just you know kicking it with each other, right? Like just I don't know. I can't wait for November. I'm hoping
Yeah.
that I'm gonna pull that one off. So I'm stoked about that. Look at Ben. You forgot your own app.
Yo, my own app. Yeah, I forgot it.
No, but I mean, and
Oh, you're talking about Gumroad.
if anybody is not aware, by the way, go to his channel, check out the compilations for, like, for example, his 2020 win. Check out, you know, the videos that are on there. Check his name out, and then you can find him in other competitions as well that aren't necessarily on his channel. But he also has songs on his channel. So, and Spotify, if I'm not
Hey.
mistaken.
Hmm.
And then Beatbox Arena, he has a Discord. He has a whole thing. So if you're interested in any way, shape, or form, go check him out. Start with his channel. That's the best place, I think, to kind of get a start on where all the stuff's at. Um,
Hmm.
and then of course subscribe and hit the like button on all the videos that you watch. Just cause, drop comments, all that stuff. And I can't even thank you enough for taking the time to sit here and talk to me, because I know I don't know like I said, I don't know tons about it. I'm not as savvy with the terminology and how it all works, but I'm learning,
Oh,
right?
no worries. You'll see a bunch this November. You'll see all of it.
I'll be
It'll
like,
be a
guess I
bunch.
know everything now, y'all.
Yeah, for real, for real. That's about to happen.
No, but I really appreciate you taking the time and hanging out with all of us, being on the podcast. And I know, like I said, I know you're busy. You got all this stuff going on. Plus, you've been, like, last week, I believe you were teaching people, and then
Yeah,
you've got stuff to judge coming up. So to find the time in between, I really appreciate it, especially being the
of course, yeah.
very first beatboxer of any type in any way on this channel, because there's going to be more hopefully down the road. So,
Let's go. Yeah, yeah. There's
but
so many.
on that note, I'm gonna go finish packing, because that's fun, and I appreciate everybody that's been here. And if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Drop them in his comments. If you want to ask him questions, I'm sure he'll see them at some point, um, or just DM me. So, is there anything else? I can't think of anything else right now. But you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time.
Hey.